The alarm buzzed at 6, same as always. I reached over and shut it off before it could wake Chloe. I watched her sleep for a minute, her blonde hair fanned out on the pillow. My chest got that tight, warm feeling it always did. This was my life. And it was perfect. I padded out to the living room, the pine scent of our Christmas tree hitting me first. I plugged in the lights. They twinkled against the ornaments, the clumsy one from our first Christmas together, the glass ball from that trip to Vermont. Our little snow globe world. My phone vibrated on the kitchen counter. A text from Mark. You guys still on for game night tomorrow? Lily's making her infamous spinach dip. I grinned, typing back. Wouldn't miss the food poisoning for the world. See you then. Chloe shuffled in, wrapped in my old robe. Who's texting this early? She mumbled, kissing my cheek. Just Mark. Confirming tomorrow. Tell him I'm bringing the wine, she said, pouring coffee. I have to survive the mall today. It's going to be a war zone. Still need to finish your shopping. Just your present, she said, her eyes sparkling. It's impossible. What do you get for the man who already has everything he wants? You, I thought. I just want you. I'm sure I'll love it, I said aloud. You better. I'm sacrificing my sanity for you. Crowds, crying babies, the same 6 Christmas songs on loop. My hero, I laughed, pulling her close. You're coming straight home after work, she asked. Yep. Might be a little late. Big project. It wasn't a lie. The project was real. But my plan was to leave 3 hours early. The small, black velvet box was buried in my desk drawer at the office. A sapphire, to match her eyes. I was going to propose again on Christmas Eve, in front of the tree. A renewal. A promise. At my desk, I couldn't focus. I kept tapping the drawer with the ring. Finally, at 2, I grabbed my coat. Bailing early, Miller, my colleague, Dave, asked. Family stuff, I said, the word family making me smile. The winter air was sharp and cold. Perfect. I'd surprise her. She'd be somewhere in the mall, exhausted, and I'd appear with her favorite coffee like a caffeine-fueled knight in shining armor. The thought of her surprised smile fueled me. The mall parking lot was a nightmare, a sea of brake lights. I circled once and gave up. There was a cafe a block over, the Roasted Bean. They made the best peppermint mocha, the one she loved. I parallel parked, my breath making little clouds in the air. My gloves were in the car, but I didn't go back for them. I was on a mission. I pushed open the cafe door, the bell jingling, enveloped by the warm smell of roasted beans and cinnamon. I got in line, rehearsing my surprise in my head. I'd text her, "Where are you? I'm lost." Then I'd find her and save her day. That's when I looked past the line, into the seating area. And my perfect, snow globe world froze solid. There she was. At a corner table by the window. Laughing. Her hand was covering her mouth, just like it does when she's really happy. But her other hand was on the table. And it was clasped tightly in the hand of a man who was not me. That my feet are cement blocks stuck to the sidewalk. The 2 paper cups in my hands are burning hot, then instantly freezing. Coffee sloshes over the lid, dripping onto my fingers. I don't feel it. I just feel my heart. It's a hammer trying to break out of my ribs. Thump. 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 It's her. It's Chloe. She's right there, 6 feet away through a pane of glass. She's wearing the cream sweater I gave her for her birthday. The one she said made her feel cozy. She's not at the mall. She's here. And she's holding his hand. The man says something. He has dark hair, a sharp jaw. He's leaning in, confidential. Chloe throws her head back and laughs, that real, uninhibited laugh I thought was only for me. She puts her hand over her mouth, her eyes crinkling. Then she reaches across the table with her other hand and squeezes his. My lungs forget how to work. The sound of the traffic, the chatter from inside the cafe, it all muffles into a fuzzy, distant roar. There's only the thump-thump-thump in my ears and the scene playing out like a silent, horrible movie. Move. Ethan, move. Walk away. Storm in. Do something. But I'm frozen. A statue holding two stupid, steaming coffees. He's talking again, his face serious now. He's still holding her hand. He lifts his other hand and tucks a strand of her hair behind her ear. The move is so intimate, so familiar, it feels like a physical shove against my chest. She doesn't flinch. She smiles at him, a soft, private smile. Then he leans in further. And he kisses her. It's not on the cheek. It's not a friendly peck. It's a slow, deliberate kiss, right on her lips. In the middle of the roasted bean, at 2:30 on a Tuesday. She doesn't pull back. Her eyes close. For 3 seconds. 4. When he pulls away, she's still smiling. She says something to him, her lips moving. He grins, a cocky, sure-thing grin, and runs his thumb over her knuckles. That's the motion that breaks the spell. That possessive stroke of his thumb. A violent tremor runs through me. The coffees jerk in my hands. Hot liquid spills down my wrist, shocking me into motion. I stumble back from the window. My hip smacks into a trash can with a metallic clang. I stare at the coffees. Peppermint mocha. For my fiancé. Who is currently being kissed by another man. A sound escapes me. Part laugh, part choke. I lurch toward the trash can, rip the lid off, and shove both full cups inside. They land with a wet, hollow thud. I look back through the window. They're gathering their coats. He's helping her into hers, his hands lingering on her shoulders. She's laughing again. I turn and walk. Fast. My car is a blur. I fumble with the keys, my wet, sticky fingers slipping. I finally get the door open and collapse into the driver's seat. The silence inside the car is absolute and deafening. I look down at my hands. They're shaking. Red from the cold and the spilled coffee. I close my eyes, but all I see is his thumb on her hand. His lips on hers. My perfect, sparkling snow globe hadn't just cracked. It had exploded, and I was standing in the middle of a million sharp, glittering shards. I don't remember the drive home. The next thing I know, I'm sitting in my car in our parking spot, engine off, hands still glued to the wheel. Our apartment is on the 3rd floor. I climb the stairs like I'm walking through deep water. I push the door open. The Christmas tree lights are still on, twinkling. The sight makes me feel sick. I walk to the mantel. There's a photo from last summer, at the lake. Chloe is piggyback on me, both of us sunburnt and laughing. I pick it up. Was she already lying then? When did it start? I put it down, my finger leaving a smudge on the glass. My stocking hangs next to hers. His and hers, in cheesy script. I touch the fuzzy cuff of hers. A museum of lies. Every ornament, every throw pillow, a piece of evidence in a crime scene I never saw. On the sofa is the dark blue scarf she's been knitting for me. A surprise, she'd said, always hiding it when I came near. It's half finished. I pick it up. The yarn is soft. I imagine her sitting here, clicking the needles, thinking of him. The key turns in the lock. I drop the scarf like it's on fire. She bustles in, arms laden with shopping bags, humming Jingle Bells. Her cheeks are flushed from the cold. She looks beautiful. The sight is a physical pain. Ethan. You are home early. Oh my God, it was a nightmare out there. The lines were literally out the door. And this woman at the perfume counter? A total monster. She drops the bags and kicks off her boots. I think I got everything, though. Well, almost. I need to wrap your present, so don't you dare peek in that bag. She points a playful, warning finger at me. She's performing. Line for line, gesture for gesture. And I'm just watching, my blood like ice in my veins. You're quiet, she says, finally stopping. Long day. I look at her. I really look at her. The lips that kissed someone else an hour ago. The hands that held his. I got you a peppermint mocha today, I say. My voice is flat, dead. From the roasted bean. All the color drains from her face. It happens so fast, like someone pulled a plug. Her smile freezes, then vanishes. What? She whispers. The roasted bean. The cafe. A block from the mall. Where you said you weren't. Ethan, her eyes are wide, darting around the room, looking for an exit. I was at the mall. I just popped in there for a minute to get a coffee. My feet were killing me. You were there for at least 40 minutes, I say. I didn't time it, but it feels true. You were at a corner table. With a man. She flinches as if I'd slapped her. You were spying on me. I was bringing you a coffee, I say, the numbness cracking to let a sliver of raw anger through. To surprise you. Remember? The thing people in love do. It's not what you think. The words burst out of her, too loud. She takes a step toward me, hands out. That was just Ryan. He's a friend from my spin class. We ran into each other. It was a coincidence. You were holding his hand, Chloe. She shakes her head fiercely. No, I wasn't. You saw it wrong. We were just talking. He was telling me about a family crisis. I was comforting him. He kissed you. Silence. Thick and heavy. The lie dies in the air between us. Her face crumples. Tears well up instantly. It was nothing. It was a mistake. It meant nothing, Ethan, I swear. It was just a stupid, friendly kiss. You're blowing this way out of proportion. On the lips, I say, each word a stone. You smiled. So what? Are you my jailer now? I can't have a friend. I can't have a single moment of my own life without you watching and judging. Her tears are flowing freely now, but they feel like a weapon. You're always so wrapped up in your work, in your plans. Maybe I just needed someone to talk to. So you kissed him. It was one time, she screams, her hands flying up. God, you're suffocating me. You're overreacting. It was just a coffee. I don't say anything. I just watch her cry, watch the anger and panic twist her face. The performance has shifted, but it's still a performance. Say something, she yells, stomping her foot. Don't just stand there like a ghost. A ghost. That's exactly what I am. I'm haunting the life we built, and she's just now noticing I'm dead. Who is he? I ask, my voice quiet. She wraps her arms around herself. I told you. Ryan. A friend. It's not serious. Not serious, I repeat. The words have no meaning. It's not. You're my life, Ethan. You. This. She gestures wildly at the apartment, at the tree, at me. This is what I want. He's nothing. A distraction. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. She moves to hug me. I take a step back. My shoulder bumps the mantel, and the photo from the lake wobbles. Her arms fall to her sides. She looks at me, really looks, and sees the ice in my eyes. The performance falters. For a second, I see pure, unguarded fear. Please, she whispers. Don't do this. I turn away from her. I walk to our bedroom, but stop at the door. I can't go in there. I turn and walk past her, past the twinkling tree, into the small, cold guest room. I close the door softly. I hear one ragged sob from the living room. Then silence. I sit on the bare bed, in the dark, and listen to the silence of my ended world. I called in sick. My voice sounded robotic. Food poisoning, I told my boss. I couldn't stay in the apartment. Chloe had left for work, her eyes puffy and avoiding mine. The silence she left behind was worse than the fighting. I only had one person to call. Mark. I need to talk. Now. An hour later, we were in a dark corner booth at Murphy's. I had a whiskey in front of me. I hadn't touched it. You look like hell, Mark said, his brow furrowed with concern. What's going on? The story tumbled out of me in a broken, ugly rush. The coffee. The window. The kiss. Her lies. I didn't cry. I just recited facts, my hands flat on the sticky table. Mark's face transformed from concern to utter shock, then to boiling anger. He slammed his pint glass down. Are you kidding me? Chloe. With some random guy. His name is Ryan, I muttered. I don't care if his name is the Pope. What a snake. He leaned forward, his voice low and intense. What are you going to do? Do you want me to talk to her? Or better yet, point me at this Ryan guy. I'll have a conversation with him. His loyalty was a furnace blast. It should have warmed me. It just made me feel emptier. Confronting him does what, exactly? I said, swirling the whiskey. It gets him to back off. It puts the fear of God into him. Makes him think twice before messing with my best friend's girl. She's not my girl, I said, the words ash in my mouth. Not anymore. Don't say that. This is a mistake. A huge, stupid mistake. People make them. You guys can fix this. I finally looked at him. He kissed her. She let him. You don't fix that. He ran a hand through his hair, frustrated. I can't believe it. I never saw this coming. Did you? No, that was the truest word I'd said all day. We sat in silence for a minute. Mark's anger was a live wire in the air. Well, you can't just sit on this. You need facts. Evidence. Have you checked her phone? No. You should. Or. I don't know, something. You need to know what you're dealing with. I left the bar feeling worse. Mark's outrage was a mirror, reflecting back how betrayed I should feel. All I felt was hollow. Back in the empty apartment, his words echoed. You need to know. A cold, sick curiosity uncoiled in my gut. I got my laptop. Our phone bill was online, under my login. I never looked at it. It was just another automatic payment. My hands were steady as I navigated to the website. I clicked on the detailed bill for our shared plan. There was her number. And mine. And a sea of calls and texts. I filtered for her line. Scrolled. A number appeared. Dozens of times. Short calls at midday. Long calls after 9 p.m. A flurry of texts yesterday, a constant back and forth that lasted for hours. Last night. When she was on the couch, phone in her lap, smiling at the screen. Just texting Lily about tomorrow, she'd said. I copied the number. My fingers felt like blocks of ice. I pasted it into a reverse search website. A $10 fee. I paid it. The result loaded. Ryan Carter. With an address in the East Bank district. The confirmation was a nail hammered into my chest. I let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. I opened social media. Searched the name. His profile was public. Ryan Carter. Works in private equity at Sterling and Worth. A few gym selfies. A picture of a fancy sports car. Then I saw it. A photo from 3 months ago. Great night supporting a good cause at the Children's Hospital Gala. He was in a tux, holding a champagne flute. And right next to him, arms slung casually over Ryan's shoulder, grinning at the camera with a glass of his own, was Mark. My Mark. The room tilted. The hollow feeling in my gut filled with a rushing, freezing torrent. Mark knew him. They were friends. Good enough friends to go to a black tie gala together. He sat across from me at Murphy's. He listened to me say the name, Ryan. He offered to confront him. He looked me in the eye. And he never said a word. The photo of Mark and Ryan at the gala burned behind my eyes. 2 betrayals, tangled together. I needed to see the threads. I called Mark. My voice was impressively steady. Hey. Need a favor. Anything, man. What's up? His tone was all concerned best friend. I'm leaving town tonight. A last-minute site survey for the Portland project. Client crisis. Can you check on Chloe this weekend? She's a wreck. I just don't want her alone. A pause. Yeah. Yeah, of course. You sure you should be leaving right now, though? Work is work, I said, the lie smooth and cold. I'll be back Sunday night. Okay. I'll take care of it. I packed a small bag. Chloe watched from the bedroom doorway, her arms crossed. You're running away, she said, her voice flat. I'm going to work, I said, not looking at her. Right. I drove to a motel 10 minutes away, the kind with flickering neon and thin walls. I paid in cash. My room had a view of the parking lot and a smell of stale smoke. Friday night, I sat in my car down the street from our apartment building. At 7, Mark's black SUV pulled up. He got out, alone. My heart was a cold stone. He went inside. 20 minutes later, he and Chloe emerged. She was in jeans and a nice sweater. They weren't touching. But they were talking easily, their heads close together. She said something, and he laughed. It wasn't the body language of co-conspirators. It was comfortable. Familiar. They got into his car and drove to a bistro downtown. I followed, a ghost in traffic. I watched through the window from across the street. They got a table. Mark ordered a bottle of wine. They clinked glasses. She was talking with her hands, a familiar, animated flow. He was listening, nodding. They looked like 2 friends having dinner. Not like a woman and the best friend of the man she's cheating with. It made no sense. Unless Mark wasn't just the best friend. Unless he was something else. Saturday, I switched targets. Ryan Carter's apartment building was a sleek high-rise. I waited in a coffee shop across the street. At noon, he walked out. He was dressed casually, confident. He walked 2 blocks to an upscale brunch spot with outdoor seating. 5 minutes later, a woman joined him. She kissed his cheek before sitting down. It was Lily. Chloe's best friend. Mark's girlfriend. The world narrowed to the space between their table and my eyes. They were leaning in, talking intently. Ryan reached across and took her hand. She smiled, a secret, intimate smile, and didn't pull away. A waiter brought mimosas. They clinked glasses, just like Mark and Chloe had. The pieces, sharp and ugly, snapped together with a sickening click. It wasn't a line. It was a circle. Chloe was with Ryan. Lily was also with Ryan. Mark was, what? The facilitator? A willing cuckold? Or was he, somehow, with Chloe too? Was this some twisted swap? I thought of Lily's infamous spinach dip. Her laughter at our game nights. Mark's arm around her on our couch. My phone buzzed. A text from Mark. How's Portland? Chloe's okay. We had dinner. Trying to keep her spirits up. I stared at the screen. The lie was so clean. The cover was perfect. I typed back, my fingers numb. Thanks, man. Means a lot. Rainy here. No problem. That's what brothers are for, he replied. Brothers. The word was a poison. I looked back at the brunch table. Ryan was laughing at something Lily said. She playfully swatted his arm. My fiancé. My best friend. My best friend's girlfriend. All orbiting the same man, all lying to me with every breath. The betrayal wasn't a single knife in the back. It was an entire network, a poisoned well everyone I trusted was drinking from while they handed me a clean glass. I left before they finished their meal. I couldn't watch anymore. Back in the motel room, the silence was deafening. I sat on the edge of the bed, the floral bedspread rough under my hands. I had come looking for a single snake. Instead, I'd found a nest of them, coiled around every pillar of my life. The numbness finally cracked. What poured out wasn't hot rage. It was a cold, clarifying fury. They thought I was clueless. A ghost in my own life. It was time they learned ghosts could haunt. I moved back into the apartment on Sunday night. I walked past Chloe in the living room and carried my bag straight into the guest room. She followed me to the doorway. What are you doing? I need some space to think, I said, my voice calm and empty as I unzipped my bag. We both do. Space. Ethan, we need to talk this out. You can't just move in here like a roommate. Talking hasn't helped, I said, hanging a shirt in the empty closet. You said it was nothing. I saw it was something. We're at an impasse. So, I'm taking space. She stared at me, her confusion turning to frustration. So that's it? You're just giving up? After all this time? I finally looked at her. You gave up first, Chloe. I'm just catching up. I closed the door. Not a slam. A soft, definitive click. The next morning, I made coffee. 2 mugs. I handed her one. Thanks, she said, wary. You're welcome. I went to work. At lunch, I visited a family law attorney named Mrs. Gable. Her office was quiet and smelled like lemons. You need to protect your assets before any formal separation, she said, her glasses low on her nose. Joint accounts, the apartment lease, any shared debt. I understand, I said. What's the first step? Open a new bank account in your name only. Redirect your direct deposit. Inventory any jointly owned property. Do it quietly. I did it all that afternoon. Online. The new account. The payroll change. It felt like performing surgery on myself, precise and bloodless. At home, I was polite. Detached. I asked about her day. I listened to her answers. I said, good night, and went to my room. The anger in her eyes slowly faded, replaced by a flicker of fear. She was used to my warmth, my reactions. This cold silence was a language she didn't understand. I called Mark midweek. Hey, brother, he answered. How you holding up? Not great, I said, letting a crack into my voice. It's just, confusing. She still swears it was just a coffee. But the guy. Ryan. Did you ever find out anything more about him? A pause. No. Should I? I don't know. It's eating me up. Who is he? Is he some player? Does he have a girlfriend? I sounded pathetic. It was by design. Look, man, maybe you shouldn't fixate on him. It's not healthy. You're right, I sighed. It's just hard. Chloe mentioned he just moved into some fancy new condo building, the Azure. Made a point of it. Like she was impressed. The line went so quiet I thought we'd disconnected. Mark? Yeah. Sorry. His voice was tighter. The Azure? You sure that's what she said? Pretty sure. Why? Nothing. It's just, that building just opened. It's got a huge wait list. How would a spin class buddy afford that? He tried to sound casual. He failed. My blood went still. I had never told Mark the name of Ryan's building. I didn't even know it myself. But Chloe had mentioned that new glass tower by the river, in passing weeks ago, saying she'd read about it in a design magazine. Mark knew the name. And he knew Ryan could afford it. Yeah, I said, keeping my tone light, confused. Strange, right? Anyway, I should go. Thanks for listening. Anytime. I hung up. The final piece of evidence clicked into place, sealing the truth in a vault of ice. Mark knew Ryan. He knew him well enough to know his financial situation. He'd lied to my face. Repeatedly. The last flicker of grief for my old friend died. The love for Chloe had already curdled. What was left was cold, focused intent. I was no longer a victim in their story. I was the archivist. The accountant. Gathering the receipts of their betrayal. And soon, it would be time to present the bill. Christmas music played from our speaker. The tree glittered. The apartment smelled of pine and Lily's spinach dip. It was a perfect snapshot of every Christmas Eve we'd ever had. And it was hell. Eggnog, Ethan? Mark asked, handing me a cup. His smile was all friendly concern. Thanks, I said, taking it. My own smile felt like a rigid mask. Chloe moved through the room, refilling chips. She was too bright, too loud. Isn't this fun? Everyone together. Lily arrived, her cheeks pink from the cold. And right behind her, Ryan. Everyone, this is Ryan, Lily announced, linking her arm with his. My +1. Hope you don't mind I brought a stranger. The more the merrier, Chloe said, her voice a half-octave too high. They did not acknowledge each other. Great to meet you all, Ryan said, his gaze sweeping the room, landing on me for a fraction of a second too long. Nice place. Thanks, I said. Lily's told us so little about you. A flicker in his eyes. Well. I'm not that interesting. The party was a minefield of microaggressions. Mark clapped Ryan on the shoulder. Glad you could make it, man. How's the new place? Azure Towers. It's fantastic, Ryan said, sipping his drink. The view is killer. I bet, Mark said, his eyes darting to me. I stared blankly back. I watched it all from the island of an armchair. Mark and Ryan, talking like old friends. Lily, hanging on Ryan's arm, but her eyes tracking Mark. Chloe, watching Ryan when she thought no one was looking. During a loud game of charades, I saw it. Ryan passing Chloe near the kitchen. His hand brushed the small of her back. Just for a second. She didn't flinch. She leaned into the touch. My stomach turned. The room was too hot. I need some air, I announced, standing. Gonna check if Mrs. Callahan downstairs needs her walk shoveled. You're a saint, Ethan, Lily chirped. I grabbed my coat from the guest room. And I grabbed my old phone, the one with a cracked screen I used for music. I opened the voice memo app, hit record, and slid it under a pile of festive greenery in the center of the dining table, mic facing up. I was outside for exactly 8 minutes, shoveling nothing. When I came back in, stomping fake snow off my boots, they were all clustered in the kitchen, laughing. The laughter died when they saw me. Heroes return. Mark boomed, raising his glass. The party died a slow death after that. An hour later, goodbyes were said. Fake hugs were exchanged. "Take care of yourself, Ethan," Ryan said, shaking my hand. His grip was firm, challenging. "You too," I said. Finally, it was just Chloe and me in the wreckage of the party. She was scrubbing a dish violently. "Well, that was awkward," she snapped. "Was it?" I asked, heading for the guest room. "Don't do that. Don't act like you didn't see it. You sat there like a judge all night. Good night, Chloe." I locked the door. I pulled the phone from the centerpiece. I plugged in headphones, lay on the bed, and pressed play. The recording was muffled. Laughter, the clink of glasses. Then, the sound of the balcony door closing, me, leaving. A hush fell over the audio. Then, Mark's voice, low and clear. "Is he gone?" "Yeah, shoveling," Lily said. A sigh. Ryan's voice. "This is brutal. How much longer?" "Just a few more days," Chloe's voice, strained. "After the holidays." We said after the holidays. "He's clueless," Mark said. "Just be patient. Stick to the plan. We're almost there." "It's not that easy, Mark," Chloe hissed. "He's not clueless, he's hollow. It's creepy. It's better than him blowing everything up. One more week. Then Lily and I break up, you and Ethan break up, and we can all stop this charade. Clean break. Ryan, can you just, not touch me in front of him?" Lily's voice, sharp. "Relax," Ryan said. He didn't see a thing. The audio dissolved into indistinct whispers, then the sound of me coming back inside. I took the headphones off. The silence in the room was absolute. Clueless. Stick to the plan. Clean break. They had a timeline. They had roles. Mark and Lily were a couple, planning to break up. Chloe and I were a couple, planning to break up. And Ryan was the prize they were all shuffling for. The last shred of hope, the tiny, stupid part of me that wondered if I was insane, if I was misreading everything, it died. It didn't hurt. It just vanished, leaving behind a landscape of pure, cold certainty. They were a circle. And I was the inconvenient outsider they were patiently, politely, planning to eject. I deleted the recording. The evidence was no longer for a court. It was for me. The trial was over. The verdict was in. Christmas morning was silent. I'd been awake for hours, listening to the empty apartment. I heard her get up, move around the kitchen. I dressed in simple, sturdy clothes. Jeans. A sweater. My boots by the door. The manila envelope was on the guest bed. Inside, a printed page of the phone records with Ryan's number circled. Mrs. Gable's business card. A sticky note with tomorrow's date and my belongings will be collected by movers. And at the bottom, the small black velvet box, unopened. I picked it up. It had no weight at all. She was sitting on the couch, staring at the tree. A single, unwrapped gift, a thin, flat rectangle, was on the coffee table. Probably a sweater. She looked small. "Merry Christmas," I said. She jumped, turning. Her eyes were hopeful for a second, then guarded. "Merry Christmas. I got you something. I got you something too." I walked over and placed the envelope in her lap. Not gently. Just placed it. She stared at it. What's this? Open it. Her fingers fumbled with the clasp. She pulled the contents out. The phone records first. Her face went pale. Then the lawyer's card. Her breath hitched. The sticky note. Her hands began to shake. Finally, she pried open the velvet box. The sapphire caught the Christmas tree lights and sparkled, blue and cold. A sound escaped her, a choked gasp. She looked up at me, her eyes huge with horror. Ethan. I saw you at the roasted bean, I said, my voice quiet and even. I know about Ryan. I know Mark and Lily know. I know about the plan for a clean break after the holidays. I'm not arguing. I'm not asking for explanations. I'm informing you of my decision. The color drained completely from her face. What, how could you? Mark wouldn't. He slipped up. You all did. I took a step back. The lease is in my name. I've paid next month's rent. You have until the end of January to find a new place. My stuff will be gone tomorrow. My number will be changed. Any further communication goes through the lawyer. The shock broke, shattered by a rising tidal wave of panic. You can't do this. It's Christmas. You're just going to leave. Yes. But it wasn't like that. It wasn't a plan. She scrambled up, the papers spilling to the floor. You don't understand. You were never there. You were always in your own world, with your routines and your plans. You stopped seeing me. I said nothing. I just watched. Say something, she screamed, tears starting to stream down her face. Fight with me. Yell at me. Don't just stand there like a robot. What would be the point? I asked. Her panic curdled into rage. The point is you're a coward. You'd rather run away than fight for us. This is your fault, too. You made me lonely. You made me find someone who actually saw me. I nodded slowly. Okay. That one word, so calm, so final, broke her completely. She picked up the velvet box and threw it at me. It bounced off my chest and clattered to the floor. The ring skittered under the tree. I hate you, she sobbed, collapsing back onto the couch. You were supposed to fight for me. You were supposed to want me. I bent down and picked up the ring. I placed it on the coffee table, next to the unwrapped gift. The movers will come at 10 a.m., I said. They'll only take what's mine. It won't be much. I walked to the door. I pulled on my boots and my coat. Ethan, please. Her voice was a raw, desperate wail. Please, don't go. I'm sorry. I'll end it, I swear. It's you, it's only you. I opened the door. The cold hallway air rushed in. I looked back one last time. At the sparkling tree. At the woman curled into a ball on the sofa, weeping into her hands. At the sapphire ring glinting on the table. I didn't feel hate. I didn't feel love. I felt nothing at all. Just a vast, quiet emptiness where my future used to be. Goodbye, Chloe. I stepped out and closed the door softly behind me. I didn't hear the lock click. I just walked down the hall, my footsteps echoing, leaving the blinking lights of the wreckage behind. My new apartment has white walls, a sofa, a bed, and a desk. Nothing more. The silence here is mine. It's not accusing. It's just quiet. I took the promotion. It means I'm on a plane every other week. I like the airports. The anonymity. I was grabbing coffee in the office kitchen when I overheard two junior designers talking. Total meltdown at Azure Towers, my friend lives there. Security was called. She threw a lamp. Who? Some finance guy, Ryan Carter. His girlfriend went nuclear. Found out he was still seeing his ex. Or another girl. It was messy. I stirred my coffee slowly. The name was just a name now. A fact. Later, Dave from accounting slid into the chair opposite me at lunch. Heard about your old friend Mark? I looked up. No. Split with his girlfriend. Lily. Nasty business. Accused him of setting her up with some guy as a distraction, while he chased her friend. Real soap opera stuff. Dave shook his head. You guys still tight? No, I said. We're not. The circle had imploded. Their perfect plan had been a house of cards in a stiff wind. I felt no triumph. Just a faint, distant sense of a fever breaking. A week later, I was reviewing blueprints for a community center project in a downtown cafe. Is this seat taken? I looked up. It was Sarah from the structural engineering team. We'd exchanged emails. She was holding a massive, complicated-looking drink. All yours, I said, moving my papers. She sat, eyeing my blueprints. The Reed Community Center. Yeah. You're on this one too. Just got assigned. I'm the one who has to make your beautiful design actually stand up. She smiled. It was direct. No hidden layers. We talked shop for 20 minutes. It was easy. No performance. No subtext. It's a good project, she said finally. Rebuilding something right in the heart of the city. There's something satisfying about that. Rebuilding, I echoed. The word sat between us. Yeah. My weekend project is rebuilding my porch. The old one rotted right out from under me. Looked fine from the front, but the foundation was gone. She took a sip of her drink. Sometimes you just have to tear it all down to the joists and start fresh. I looked at her. She wasn't being metaphorical. She was talking about a porch. But I nodded. I know exactly what you mean. She grinned. Well, if your design work is half as good as your coffee choice, the center will be fine. She stood, gathering her things. See you at the site meeting next week, Miller. See you, Sarah. After she left, I realized I was smiling. A real one. It didn't feel like an act. It felt like the first sketch on a blank page. The plane hums around me, a steady, calming sound. I'm in a window seat, the blueprints for the Reed Community Center spread on my tray table. I'm tweaking the layout for the sunlight, trying to get it right. It's meaningful work. It will outlast me. My phone buzzes, face up on the blueprint. A text from an unknown number. My thumb hovers for a second. Then I tap it. I'm so sorry, Ethan. I lost myself. I lost the best thing I ever had. I hope you can be happy. I know it's her. The area code is the same. The rhythm of the words. The apology that arrives months too late, when the wreckage has already been cleared away. I feel it then. A single, sharp pang, deep in my chest. It's not love. It's not longing. It's the ghost of the man I was, the one who believed in snow globes and forever, giving one last, quiet shudder before finally fading away. I'm mourning him. I read the message once more. I don't analyze it. I don't wonder if she's crying, if she's alone, if she means it. It doesn't matter. My finger finds the delete option. Delete this message. Yes. It's gone. Simple as that. I don't need revenge. I saw how that played out. Their perfect circle, built on lies, collapsed under its own weight. Chloe and Ryan's drama. Mark and Lily's bitter accusations. Their own choices were the punishment, a prison of their own making. My walking away wasn't an escape for me, it was the sentence for them. My justice isn't in their suffering. It's in my peace. I lean my head against the cool window and look out. We're above the clouds. Endless, bright, sunlit fields of them, stretching to the horizon. I don't think about the snow globe, shattered on a concrete sidewalk. I don't think about the glittering, fragile lie. I look down at the blueprint on my lap. The strong, clean lines. The load-bearing walls. The spaces for light, for people, for community. I think about the foundation. Strong, deep, and built to last. Mine. I take a pen and make a small, final notation in the corner of the page. It's right. It's solid. And for the first time in a long time, I feel exactly the same way.